The rain poured like angry fists against the tin roof. Aisha sat on the worn-out chair, her eyes fixed on the thin plate of rice before her. Mika, her 6-year-old son, watched her silently, sensing her exhaustion before she even spoke. She wanted to cry, to scream, to disappear, but she couldn't. Not now. Not ever. Because someone had to hold the world together for Mika. And the world she knew was falling apart. Welcome to Nightfall Tales by Wara, where every story is a journey into emotion, suspense, and life itself. Sit tight, this is a tale you won't forget. Aisha wiped the sweat from her forehead as she carried a basket of laundry down the muddy street. Her fingers, cracked and sore, gripped the cloths tightly. She balanced the basket against her hip as the early morning crowd hustled past, eyes focused on their own battles. Her son, Mika, was still asleep in their small, one-room apartment, tucked under a thin blanket that smelled faintly of yesterday's rain. The apartment was old, with peeling paint and a ceiling that threatened to leak with the next storm. Yet, in that small space, she had built a world of love and safety for him. She reached the laundry shop and greeted the owner with a forced smile. "Morning, Aisha," he said, barely glancing at her. "You know the usual?" Aisha nodded. "Yes, sir. I'll have it done by evening." Every day was the same. Work, sweat, hunger, exhaustion, but she never let Mika feel her pain. She skipped meals, walked long distances, and slept little. Her hands bore the marks of her labor, and her heart bore the weight of loneliness. By noon, the sun burned her skin, and she returned home, dragging her feet. Mika was awake now, sitting by the small window, watching the street below. His small face lit up when he saw her. "Mommy," he called, running to her. Aisha forced a smile. "Hello, my sunshine. Did you eat?" "Yes," Mika said, nodding quickly, hiding a frown. "But you didn't, did you?" Her throat tightened. She kissed his forehead. "I ate, baby. Don't worry about me." But worry was written all over Mika's little face. He understood too much for his age. And she hated that. She hated that he had to grow up fast, to see the world through eyes already hardened by struggle. That night, after Mika fell asleep, Aisha cleaned the small apartment, humming a soft tune to keep her spirits alive. Then her hand brushed against a folded envelope tucked behind the old cupboard. It was thick, yellowed with age, and sealed with a faint red wax mark. She froze. Her late mother's handwriting curled elegantly on the front. "For Aisha, my brave girl. Use wisely." Her hands trembled as she opened it. Inside were old papers, documents revealing a small inheritance left by her mother, some money stashed away, and instructions for accessing it. There was also a letter, urging her to be careful, warning her that not everyone could be trusted. Aisha sank to the floor, clutching the papers. Tears blurred her vision. After years of struggle, a glimmer of hope shone through. But it came with risk. She thought of Mika. His future depended on her decisions. And yet, she felt the familiar knot of fear tighten in her chest. The world had taught her that opportunity often wore the mask of danger. As the rain drummed outside, she made a silent vow, no matter what it took, she would fight for Mika. She would face whatever dangers lurked in the shadows. The next morning, a car pulled up near Aisha's apartment. It was sleek, black, and polished out of place among the dusty, narrow streets. A man in a crisp suit stepped out. His name was Mr. Duro, a wealthy businessman known for generosity and ruthless deals alike. "Are you Aisha?" he asked, his voice smooth but carrying an edge she couldn't ignore. "Yes," she replied cautiously, gripping Mika's hand as he clung to her skirt. "I've heard about your skills," he said, glancing at the laundry basket. "I have a proposition. One that could change your life." Aisha's heart raced. Change. A way out. But something in his eyes made her hesitate. She had learned, through bitter experience, that easy paths often hid the sharpest knives. "What do you want me to do?" she asked, wary. "Come work for me. Full time. I'll pay well, very well." You'll have security for your son, a place to live, food on the table. It sounded like a dream. Too good to be true. Her gaze drifted to Mika, who was smiling up at her, innocent and hopeful. Could she risk it? Could she trust a man she barely knew? The city outside moved on, oblivious to the storm brewing in her small heart. And in that moment, Aisha understood something deeply: the path to survival, to hope, and to protecting her child, would never be easy. Aisha did not sleep that night. She lay on the thin mattress, staring at the ceiling while Mika slept beside her, breathing softly. Mr. Duro's voice kept replaying in her head. I'll pay well, very well. Money meant food. Money meant school fees. Money meant Mika would stop watching her with worried eyes. But money also meant danger. By morning, hunger had already made her decision for her. She dressed Mika for school, smoothing his faded uniform. Mommy, he asked quietly, are you going somewhere today? Yes, my love, she said, forcing a smile. Just work. She kissed his forehead longer than usual, then walked to the address Mr. Duro had given her. The house was massive. Tall gates. Security men. Clean silence. It did not feel like a home. It felt like a place where secrets lived. Inside, Mr. Duro welcomed her with a smile that never reached his eyes. You made the right choice, he said. I need someone hardworking. Someone quiet. The word quiet settled heavily in her chest. Her job was simple: cleaning, sorting files, running small errands. But as the day went on, Aisha noticed things. Rooms she was warned never to enter. Files locked away. Phone calls that stopped the moment she walked in. And the way Mr. Duro watched her, like he was measuring her. That evening, he handed her an envelope. Cash. More money than she had ever held at once. Her hands shook. Thank you, sir, she whispered. As she left, a woman brushed past her in the hallway. The woman leaned close and whispered just one sentence. Be careful. This place destroys women. Aisha walked home with fear sitting beside hope inside her chest. The money changed things fast. Mika ate better. His shoes were no longer torn. Aisha paid part of her rent and bought food without fear. But peace did not come with it. Every night, Aisha locked the door twice. Every sound made her jump. She noticed strange men watching her apartment from across the road. Once, she caught someone asking her neighbors questions about her. Fear followed her like a shadow. One afternoon, Mika came home from school unusually quiet. Mommy, he said later, a man asked me who you work for. Aisha froze. What man? She asked, trying not to panic. I don't know, Mika said. He smiled, but his eyes were scary. That night, Aisha cried quietly in the bathroom so Mika wouldn't hear. She realized then, this job was not just risky. It was dangerous. The next day, she confronted Mr. Duro. I only want to work and go home, she said carefully. I don't want trouble. Mr. Duro smiled slowly. Trouble comes when people ask questions, he replied. And you don't strike me as someone who wants to be poor again. His words cut deep. That evening, Aisha found her mother's old letter again. She read the warning carefully this time. Trust your fear. It is there to save you. Her heart pounded. She knew she had stepped into something dark. But leaving now could be even worse. She was trapped. The knock came at night. 3 sharp knocks on the door. Aisha held her breath. Mama, Mika whispered, who is it? She crept to the door and looked through the small hole. 2 men stood outside. Open up, one said calmly. We know you're inside. Her knees weakened. She grabbed Mika, pulled him close, and whispered, no matter what happens, stay quiet. The door shook as one of the men knocked harder. Mr. Duro wants to remind you, the man said, loyal workers stay alive. Tears ran down Aisha's face, but she didn't open the door. After a long, terrifying silence, they left. That night, Aisha did not cry from hunger. She cried from fear. She held Mika tightly, rocking him as he trembled in her arms. "I promise you," she whispered through tears, "I will protect you. Even if it kills me." As dawn broke, Aisha made a decision. She would no longer be afraid. If she was going to survive, if her son was going to be safe, she would have to fight back. And once a mother decides to fight for her child, there is no force strong enough to stop her. Aisha did not go to work the next day. For the first time since she met Mr. Duro, she stayed home. She locked the door, closed the curtains, and kept Mika close to her. Her heart kept beating fast, like it was warning her of something coming. Around noon, there was another knock, but this time, it was soft. "Mama Aisha," a woman's voice called. "It's me." Aisha peeped through the hole. It was the woman from Mr. Duro's house. The one who had warned her. Slowly, Aisha opened the door. "My name is Ngozi," the woman said quickly. "We don't have much time." Ngozi explained everything in broken, hurried words. Mr. Duro was involved in illegal deals. He used poor women as cover bank accounts, deliveries, signatures. When trouble came, the women disappeared. "Some are in prison," Ngozi whispered. "Some are dead." Aisha felt the room spin. "He wants to use you next," Ngozi said. "Your mother's inheritance, he knows about it." Aisha gasped. Ngozi grabbed her hand. "If you stay quiet, you die slowly. If you speak, you die fast. So you must be smart." That evening, Aisha packed a small bag. She hid her mother's papers inside Mika's school bag. For the first time, she was not just running. She was planning. Aisha returned to work. She acted normal. She smiled. She cleaned. She bowed her head. But inside her, a fire burned. She listened carefully. She memorized names. She copied numbers from files when no one was looking. She recorded phone conversations with her small phone hidden in her cloth. Mr. Duro noticed the change. "You seem calmer," he said one afternoon. "Good. Fear makes people foolish." Aisha smiled weakly. "I trust you now, sir." That lie tasted bitter. One night, she followed Ngozi's instructions and met a journalist who had been secretly investigating Mr. Duro for years. "This evidence can destroy him," the journalist said. "But once we release it, you must disappear." Aisha nodded. That night, Mr. Duro's men came again. This time, they broke in. Aisha grabbed Mika and ran through the back alley, barefoot, heart pounding. Shots fired into the night air. People screamed. Dogs barked. She ran until her lungs burned. She hid in an abandoned shop, holding Mika's mouth shut as he cried silently. "Mama, I'm scared," he whispered. "I know," she whispered back. "But we will survive." And somewhere in the darkness, Mr. Duro realized. Aisha was no longer his victim. She was his threat. The news broke like thunder. Mr. Duro's face was on every screen. Fraud. Murder. Disappearances. Ngozi testified. The journalist released everything. Police raided the mansion. Aisha watched from a safe house, holding Mika tightly as tears streamed down her face. She did not cry from pain. She cried from release. But danger did not end quietly. One night, as Aisha packed to move again, a familiar voice spoke behind her. "You ruined everything." She turned. Mr. Duro stood there. Angry. Broken. Desperate. Before he could move, police rushed in. As they took him away, his eyes met Aisha's. And for the first time, he was afraid. Aisha fell to the floor, shaking. Mika hugged her. "You're strong, Mommy," he said. Aisha closed her eyes, holding her son. She had survived hunger. She had survived fear. She had survived evil. But her tears were not over yet. They were about to change into something else. The house was quiet. Not the heavy, frightening silence Aisha had known before, but a calm one. Sunlight filtered through the curtains of their new small apartment. It wasn't big. It wasn't fancy. But it was safe. And for Aisha, safety was wealth. She sat on the edge of the bed, watching Mika sleep. His chest rose and fell gently. No fear on his face. No worry in his eyes. For the first time in many years, Aisha breathed deeply. The court case ended quickly. Mr. Duro was sentenced. His empire collapsed. The women he had destroyed finally spoke. Ngozi was free. Justice, though late, had arrived. Aisha received her mother's inheritance legally this time. It wasn't a fortune, but it was enough. Enough to start small. Enough to live with dignity. She opened a small laundry and tailoring shop near a school. She worked honestly. People trusted her. They respected her. But what mattered most was what changed inside her. She no longer apologized for being strong. She no longer felt shame for being a single mother. One evening, as she closed her shop, Mika looked up at her and asked, "Mommy, why did you cry so much before?" Aisha knelt beside him, held his small hands, and smiled gently. "Because sometimes," she said softly, "tears are how the heart washes pain away." Mika hugged her tightly. "I don't want you to cry again," he said. Aisha kissed his forehead. "I might cry," she replied. "But now, they will be happy tears." That night, as they lay side by side, Aisha whispered a final prayer, not for money, not for protection, but for peace. And for the first time, her tears rested. Not because life became perfect, but because she became unbreakable. Tears of a single mom is not just a story. It is the voice of women who suffer silently. It is proof that when a mother stands for her child, even darkness steps back. Sometimes, the strongest people in this world are the ones who cry in silence. Sometimes, the bravest warriors are not holding weapons. They are holding children. Aisha did not ask for a broken home. She did not plan to raise a child alone. She did not dream of hunger, fear, or running from danger. But life handed her pain. And she carried it without dropping her child. Every tear she cried was not weakness. It was love fighting to survive. When the world looked away, she stayed awake. When fear knocked, she stood her ground. When evil tried to silence her, she chose truth. And in the end, she did not win because she was powerful. She won because she refused to give up. This story is not just Aisha's story. It is the story of single mothers who wake up tired, but still show up. The mothers who skip meals so their children can eat. The mothers who smile in public, but break down alone at night. The mothers who carry pain quietly, because someone is watching them for strength. If you are a single mother watching this, know this. Your tears are not wasted. Your struggle is not invisible. Your strength is rewriting destinies. And if you are not a single mother, let this story remind you to respect the women who carry the world on their backs without applause. Because when a mother decides to stand, even darkness steps aside. This was Tears of a Single Mom. A story of pain. A story of courage. A story of unbreakable love. And if this story touched your heart, then it has already done its job.